Hello guys and welcome to my channel. Today we'll be reviewing Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen numerous videos floating around YouTube, Instagram, every social media platform, but why not watch another one? So I picked up some products. I did not pick up every single product from the line, but I tried to get as much as I could. So yeah, let's jump right into it, shall we? First things first, let's put this weave up. I can never do my makeup if I don't put my hair up. I don't know how the beauty YouTubers do it, but I can't, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. As I mentioned before, you guys, I was not able to pick up every single product, and one of them was the primer. I know, how annoying. First step of the makeup. So anyways, I was able to pick up a sample, though. I know it's really bougie and really weird, but it is what it is. At least I have it here and to try it out with you guys. So let's jump right into the primer. Let's get started. It has like this pink hue to it, which I find really cute. So this primer does feel like a lotion already. I can clearly tell that it's not a gel primer. It's like lotion like, which I don't mind, to be honest. As long as it works, that's fine by me. So let's go ahead and apply it. It feels really good, you guys, to be honest. It does feel refreshing and hydrating right off the bat. My skin feels so much smoother. It feels amazing already. Next up, we have the foundation. Foundation looks something like this, just so you guys can see it. I picked up the shade 120. I strongly believe that this shade is really light, and it will be really light on me. A little side note about this foundation, you guys. It does oxidize. So what does oxidize mean? So oxidize means that it does turn a shade darker. So this shade you see right here, 120, by the way, the shade looks lighter in the bottle than it is, so don't let that trick you. Swatch it just to make sure. So this is a tad darker than what it looks in the bottle. I know it looks really like white and crazy, but so this will eventually, in like a minute or so, will turn a shade darker, and that happens with every single foundation from this line, obviously. So it will turn a little darker, so just keep that in mind. So when you pick up your color and feel like that is the best color that suits you the most, just go down a shade. So then when you wear it and it oxidizes, it's the perfect match for you and you have no problems. Alright, so let's go ahead and apply it. So the foundation does come with a pump. That's a big plus as well. I really love pumps and foundations. I love drops. I really don't have a problem with anything as long as it's like not too messy or anything, but it does come with a pump and I love that. So we will begin with, let's begin with this to start off with. Don't forget to blend it down your neck, especially if you pick up a shade lighter like I did. Alright, so this is half of my face with the foundation on, and this is half of my face without the foundation on. So try to ignore the color, you guys. I probably picked, it will oxidize eventually, but especially with the lights, it is probably gonna look really pale on me. Honestly, it does look really pretty. It is, like, I would say medium coverage. I did not put like an extraordinary amount. So far it is medium coverage. It's definitely not a full coverage foundation. So it does look really nice though. It looks skin-like, it feels skin-like, it does not feel heavy at all. It actually, I cannot really tell a difference if I'm wearing foundation this side versus this side. Both sides feel the same way. They feel really light, and this one looks really pretty. So let's go finish up the other side and see if we can build it up a little bit and make it like to medium, go to like a little full coverage with this one. Definitely did not go to that full coverage. I can still see a little bit of my freckles over here. I do have like 2 pimples that I can still see. I can still see a little bit of my freckles over here, but for the most part it covered most of it. It did even out my face. So now let's jump right ahead to concealer. I do not have a concealer from her line, so I will put my own concealer, the one that I use every day, and that way we can test how this foundation works with other products other than the line. So I went ahead and added a little bit of concealer under my eyes and also on my lids. You will see why on my lids. Like I said, the foundation does look really light, so I will go ahead and bronze a little and contour just to like bring it back a little, just so I don't look too pale and crazy, so we can move on with this tutorial. I did not pick up any of her contouring sticks because the shade that I wanted to pick up was out of stock. I could order these things online, you guys, but I did not want to wait until they shipped and arrived here. I wanted to record this video as soon as possible for you guys, so that is why some of the products that were out of stock I could not be able to pick it up, and I really apologize about that. So bear with me here and as we move along with this review. So it does look much better with a little contouring and bronzing. So moving on, next product that I would like to try is a blush. These look something like this, and I picked up the shade Chili Mango. So this shade over here, you guys, looks bright as hell, but I swear to you, when you swatch it, it looks absolutely gorgeous. By the way, this is how much product you get with the sticks. I know there was a big discussion about these looking like the Kim K sticks, that you do not get a lot of product for the price and all that shebang, and I do want to point out that these sticks are a little bit thicker than the Kim K. They might be the same height, about the same height. I'm not sure if it's the same height. I didn't measure them or anything. But they are thicker, so you do get a little more product, and these do retail for $24. So, you know, there's really nothing to compare. People also compare that the packaging looks the same, but I disagree. The packaging looks completely different. First off, it's a completely different design and shape. Number two, it's a completely different color. And number three, it's a completely different brand. Both brands were produced probably a year apart, so there's no way Rihanna copied Kim K or even Kim K copied Rihanna. It just doesn't make sense, and it's just not the dough. So other than that, let's go and swatch it, because that's what we're here for. So what I'll do is I'll swatch it with on my finger, and then I'll apply it with my fingertips on the apples of the cheeks. So let's go ahead and swatch it. So I do want to mention that it has a little bit of glitter. I probably put too much, but it's probably going to be enough for both cheeks. So it does have a little bit of glitter in it. Not glitter, like shimmer, mostly, if you guys can see. It does have a little bit of shimmer. So oops. Oh gosh. This is a very pretty color, you guys. It's a nice like flush on the cheeks. It's really flattering. So if you can see, as I'm tilting my head, this is where you can see it more on this side. It is pretty pigmented. It is pretty pigmented, but I also wanted to say that it has, you can see the little shimmer in it. So yeah, that doesn't really bother me. I don't mind if a blush has a little shimmer, as long as it's not like too much to the point that I cannot really wear a highlight because it's overwhelming. So I will grab a little brush, blush brush, and go over it so it doesn't look that harsh, and just to blend it out a bit. So I did not go directly on my face with the sticks, for the reason being that sometimes when you go and with a stick. It can possibly move your foundation around or your concealer or whatever that may be. So it's safer if you just either do it with your fingertips, or honestly my suggestion is to do it with your fingertips. It's easy. It's definitely not gonna move your foundation if you just tap it instead of just like dragging it and smudging it on there. If you just like tap it like I did, then it's not gonna move your foundation or anything like that. So that's the safest way to do it. I really love this blush. It's a really pretty color. I'm not really a fan, like I haven't really been a fan of putting on blush until like a couple of weeks ago. I started putting on blush, but I still keep it to the bare minimum. I do not want to like pack it on and make it look really unrealistic. So I feel like this looks perfect and looks settled and just overall really pretty, and it blends so well with my contouring and everything. So I really love this blush. We're gonna go to the highlighting stick over here that I got. So this, I got it in this shade Starstruck. The packaging looks exactly the same with the contouring, highlight, and blush. So all of these look the same. They are magnetic, so they stay together like this if you want them to. Her collection, she created some trios, so it has one more on the side. So it is the highlighting, contouring, and blush. I did not buy these for the purpose that I did not, and those trios, sometimes you cannot find, like, because they are pre-packaged and designed the way she wanted them. The contouring shades sometimes might be too dark for you or too light, or the blush might not be the one that you want, or the highlighting might be a little too dark, a little too light for you. So it's kind of tricky. It's I'm not saying that it's a bad idea. It is a pretty good idea, especially since they stick together. And I think they retail for $64 a trio. I am not exactly sure, but in my opinion, it is much better if you buy them separately, which they retail for $24. And it's much better because you can mix and match, pick and choose. But if you think that one of the trios suits you perfectly, then just pick the trio. Moving on to the highlighting stick. This is the lightest highlighting stick, by the way. So let me swatch it on my hand for you really quick. So it looks something like this, really pigmented. I pretty much like swiped it 3 or 4 times around. So it looks really, really pretty, you guys. It looks absolutely gorgeous. So I will grab it with my fingertip and swatch a little bit on it and then apply it to my... It looks really pretty and settled. Of course, you can build it up as much as you want, as if you want to make it really intense and whatnot. But if you just want to keep it settled, you can, but I'm not gonna choose to keep it settled. I want to build it up a little bit more. So let's move on to the other cheek. So on the other cheek, you guys, I want to try something different. So while I was at the store, I picked up this gorgeous, gorgeous highlight. It looks something like this. Isn't this like the prettiest thing you've laid your eyes on? It's like so blinding and intense. It is, I can look at it all day. I can just keep on going like this. So this is called Trophy Wife. And I also picked up one of the duos. So the duos look like this. So this is one of them. And this one is called Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. I will finish up this side of my face. So I will pick up both of these. Actually, I'm going to do like a little mix situation, and I'm going to I'm going to pick up both of the highlighters. I will grab my fan brush and I will go into it. I'll just dip right in, and like now it became intense. Like now it automatically became intense. So you guys, one trick with highlighting, if you want really intense highlighting, oh my god, this looks amazingly gorgeous. Like, this looks really gorgeous. A little tip for you guys when you are highlighting, and you want to make your highlight really intense, it's best to go in with a highlighting stick first and then top it off with a highlighting powder. That will enhance the highlighter so much more, and it's gonna make your highlight pop and so pigmented. So if you're a more settled person and you want something less pigmented, just like a little like sheen and a little something there, you can just use a stick or just use a powder alone, whatever, whichever you want. I personally love, whenever I use a stick, I love setting it with powder, no matter what it is, contour, use a stick, then use the powder, or just use the powder alone, it doesn't matter. But I love, especially with highlight, I like layering highlights because I feel like it looks prettier and it looks more intense. So let's go ahead and add Trophy Wife on the cheek. And remember how I told you guys that I added a little bit of concealer on the eyes? I did that because I want to try this as a shadow. So I'm really curious to see how it's going to look on me, on the cheeks, and then I want to do it as a shadow because I feel like it's going to look amazingly gorgeous. So let's go to that. So for that, I'm going to use a different brush, of course. I do not want to use the same brush. I do not want to use the same brush, so we're going to go in with this brush over here. And I'm going to swirl my brush around like 3 times, and then I'm going to tap off the axis, and let's go right in. Oh my gosh. Holy. Oh my god, you guys see this? Do you guys see this? Like, what is going on? Oh my gosh. This looks so pretty. Oh my god. I mean, I know I'm going to the extreme. I'm not even just dipping a little bit. I mean, I did dip a little bit, but a lot came out. That's the thing. So let's put it up here as well, like on the high parts of the face. I would totally wear this highlight. This looks amazing, you guys. And I have a feeling that this would look so gorgeous, and even darker skin tones, like deeper color, this would look so pretty. Like, I can't even imagine. Like Rihanna's skin tone, that, like, it looks amazing and really gorgeous. I feel like that would look really pretty on even darker skin tones. So gorgeous. So I will grab a brush like this, like a flat, I'm just grabbing a flat brush for this, and I will pick up this shadow. I am not gonna wet it yet. I'm just gonna pat in there, tap off the axis. I want to see how it looks just on its own first. Oh my gosh, this looks so pretty. I am gonna take it like all the way up to my lid. You guys see this? Holy crap. So now let's wet the brush a little bit and see how it's gonna look like that. I feel like it's gonna look really intense. I can't wait to see that. Yeah, you can really pack it on with the spray. You can make it as intense as you want it to be. So I went ahead and added a little bit of black liner and mascara on the bottom and top lash line and bottom lash line. So last product of the day, you guys, is this lip gloss over here. So it looks something like this. So this is supposed to be a universal color lip gloss, meaning it matches every skin tone from the lightest to the darkest. It is high shine, and it also claims to be long wearing. So let's go ahead and try this out. Oh gosh. High shine for sure. You guys, this smells amazing. Just saying. I'm gonna dip in one more time a little bit. So first impressions on this lip gloss, you guys, it does look really pretty. It has this minimal tint to it. It looks really amazing though. It does match my skin tone. It does look really, really gorgeous. I love it. It feels really moisturizing, to be honest. It does not, it feels, it is thick, and it has it's high shine, but therefore it does not feel sticky on the lips. Like when I put my lips together, it doesn't do this, like, you know how some lip glosses you put them and they just keep on going until you have them in your lips? This one does not do that. It feels really moisturizing on the lips, and it feels really, really light, although it is thick, and it's really high shine, as you can tell. So you guys, to say my final thoughts here, let's go over each product I used today, and I'll tell you what I think of each one of them. Hello, sample. So starting with the primer, I really like it. I like the consistency, I like the way it felt, and it did make the foundation look really nice. Foundation looks amazing, still does. I want to take a close look, to be honest, with everything now that I have on my face. Foundation looks really, really amazing, you guys. My skin looks flawless, to be honest with you. It blended really good with the concealer I put on, and the contour, and the highlights, and all the shebang. So moving on to the highlighting stick and blush, I love both of them. They're both really pretty. They look amazing on the skin. Blush looks really pretty. I love how it gives you the like flush. Highlight looks amazing as well. It is really pigmented after I layered it on. Moving on to the powder highlights now. I love both of them. As you can tell, they're everywhere. And last but not least, the lip gloss looks absolutely gorgeous as well. It does feel really moisturized on the lips. One thing I'll say about the lip gloss though, it is not something, in my opinion, it is not something like wow, like you can never find this shade again. I feel like you could find a dupe for this that is cheaper as well. I think this retails for $18, which is not that bad considering it's Fenty Beauty by Rihanna. It is obviously a high-end makeup brand, and it's sold at Sephora, so of course it's going to be on the higher end. So recapping, I really enjoyed this collection. As far as everything I have over here and I tried, I really liked every single product. Obviously I said my thoughts earlier in the video, so thank you so much for hanging out with me guys today and for watching. I apologize for the little inconveniences here and there with the primer and not having so many products, like pretty much the whole collection to try, but I picked up as many products as I could to show you guys and to try out with you guys. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for guys sticking around with me, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.